Come along and rise and shine. Come on and shine. Come along and ride on a light walker Johnny. Light walker Johnny. Yeah. Come along and ride on a light walker Johnny. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, welcome everyone to the Sunday Soul Podcast. This is your host, Lisa Brewer, Dr. Lisa Brewer, and that is in metaphysics and divinity. I am not a medical doctor. Believe it or not, some people I think that, but I'm not a medical doctor. I wanted to come to you tonight on the last Sunday of 2021 and just chat for just a moment about some of the things that I've learned this past year about myself, about the world, about humanity, about a lot of different things. And, might just be the musings of a 53-year-old grandmother. And you might not find them interesting. And I don't really know what I'm going to say, so you never know. But maybe just sit a minute and think if you've learned some of the same things. 2021, we knew was going to be a year of change after coming off of a year of a pandemic and a lot of the unknown and fear and life being just completely different, right? I still call it a lost year. It's as if that year, 2020, overall didn't really exist. Most of us spent the majority of that year somewhat semi confined or almost all the way, or in some cases, all the way confined to our homes. Um, weren't sure where to get information, and information kept changing even from some of the most trusted sources. Things just got super weird. And so out of that, what what did happen in 2020 though, and I will get to 2021, is I think a lot of us gained an internal strength and a knowledge of self that we never thought we would ever have. I don't think some people thought it was even possible. I don't think some people. I think I just think we've been going on with our lives, and it doesn't really matter where you live. We've all been going on with our lives as if you know it is just what it is. It just doesn't matter, right? That it was work and come home and hurry up and feed the kids if there's children or whatever. Hurry up, make dinner, da 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 da, go to bed, a couple hours later, 3, 4 hours later, or whatever, and get up and do it all over again and be told you only have 2 weeks for vacation and you can only get these certain holidays and only these days and this is the amount of sick time you get in this amount, you know, and I think a lot of us came out of 2020 realizing that, you know what, I have my own dream and I do believe I can go on and achieve it. And I do believe that if I put my mind to it, if I put my spirit, my energy behind it, if I finally give permission to to my purpose to provide for my person, then maybe I can find a life that's fulfilling and still keeps the lights on, right? So that was 2020. I think a lot of us began to at least be willing to open ourselves up to, if not begin to fully walk in purpose. And um, I was in November of 2020 when I officially opened or reopened the doors of the Lightworker Academy and started what is now the Practical Lightworker program. Um, Prior to November of 2020, I hadn't gone all in on my purpose. And November of 2020 was when I made the final decision that I was going all in. So, what did I learn in 2021? First of all, I learned that I can have an amazing life. I always knew it. Don't get me wrong. But I realized that I can truly have it all during this year of change, one of the things that changed for me was perspective of self. And hopefully, all of us had a pretty big change in perspective of self. And I think it's continuing to change as we discover more about who we really are, as we allow our higher self to guide us and lead us, and in conjunction with our connection to or interaction or entanglement in spirit, in source. Um, this is going to be an exciting year upcoming, but in 2021, I really had to put everything where my mouth was. We talk about put your money where your mouth is. I had to put everything there, um, because it was finally time for me to not be scared to live in my purpose, and not be scared of success, and not be scared of a fulfilling life, and not be scared of my purpose. And so 2021 taught me that I can do it. 2021 also taught me how to really live in the I am present, in the I am presence. Yes. How to really live in that energy. How to really live in the energy of I am, therefore I am. There is no other than I am. And understanding that holy texts have been codex for giving us the key to unlock our I am presence. I learned very quickly, I think, that I create my world over and over again, and I teach it all the time, right? Every moment, every second of every day, you create, recreate your world. But I've lived it this year beyond any measure that I've ever lived it before. Like this year, through the academy and the success that we've had in assisting light workers launch, or at least have the basis, right, for that launch. And we're getting better at it. And we learned this whole year. But I really began to understand that the moment I thought something, and definitely the moment I said it, my I am presence had become so strong and so sure of itself that it appears, that it manifests. And in ways sometimes that were extremely unexpected, and sometimes there was lessons to be learned. It wasn't always comfortable. It's kind of like you're going through these growing pains, and your joints are getting stretched, and your ligaments aren't quite as limber, or your muscles aren't getting as strong as they need to be sometimes to handle your new frame. Um, and sometimes you'd trip and fall. And sometimes you inadvertently caused somebody else to trip. Now, some would say I didn't, one doesn't cause someone else to trip. Like that's that the other party, both parties have free will. And I will agree with that. But I think that um, anyone who calls themselves or is in a position of leadership should always take responsibility. So whilst I lived in my I am presence, literally, I'm gonna have 3 employees. I'm gonna have 5. I'm gonna have 2 coaches or 3 coaches. I'm gonna have this and this and that, and we're gonna have this many people come through, and the academy, and these many light workers are going to step into their purpose, and we're going to be. I'm going to be able to have this size of a business. I When I say it, it happens as long as I honestly believe it. And there are times that I learned that my am presence believed something that my conscious third dimensional mind did not. And because I've allowed my spirit or my I am presence, my consciousness to lead me, that was enough. Now back to the leadership part. So, um, along while you're stretching your I am presence and you begin to flex your muscles, let's just say, or use your magic, if you will. So sometimes it works out great. So, most of the time, I would say, in the end, it all turns out fabulous. But along the way, there's ups and there's downs and there's bumps and there's bruises and there's scraped knees. And sometimes you end up accidentally helping someone to scrape theirs. And so this year, what I learned too is that the phrase heavy is the head that wears the crown. I used to kind of poo poo that, yeah. And now I don't. I don't um, just poo poo that because when you're a person that's like me, it's a triple cardinal. I create and think and come up with ideas like nobody's business and can pretty much figure out how to get it started. Um, I have to just work hard at planning everything, but I bite off a lot. I take big bites. And sometimes when someone is working for you, the vision is so plain in your brain. And if you're someone like me, the vision that I have now is not going to be the same precisely that I have a month from now or 2 months from now, because it is ever evolving into whatever this will be. But what can happen is you can end up inadvertently hurting other people's feelings, and you can inadvertently do somebody wrong that you didn't mean to do. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or you just, it's just not the best way for the whole situation to have culminated or ended or resolved. And so I guess I'm going to take this moment on this podcast to say in 2021, anyone that I hurt that felt stepped on or felt like I did not, or I made to feel less than, or that I treated unfairly, regardless if, and I want everyone to hear this, all leaders, all spiritual entrepreneurs to hear me when I say this, and entrepreneurs, period, or leaders, whether you intended for something to be a certain way or come off a certain way, whether it was your intent or not to hurt someone else's feelings or, crush their dreams or whatever it is that you're doing or you've done, if that other person felt that and what you did made that person feel like that, go to that perspective, their perspective. It doesn't matter. So I could have had, and I did, have the best intentions for everyone and to be fair with everyone. And so anyone that doesn't that I was not fair with, that feels I was not fair with them or hurt your feelings or made you feel less than, um in any way, whether you worked for me, with me or not, or however we interacted, I apologize. From the bottom of my heart, I apologize. Please forgive me, I should say. Please forgive me. Um, I learned the power of that this year. I learned that it is a little sometimes lonely to be the leader of a group or to be in a position where we're living an enlightened life and we're trying to help, right? We're empowering others, we're helping others transform. It's tough sometimes while you're learning and you're in your hermit time. Um, so I learned that it was a tough situation. So I learned, I mean, I already knew this, right, from being a leader elsewhere, but it's very different when it's yours. It's very different. And so I learned this year that sometimes I can be a bit of a bitch. And sometimes I can hurt people's feelings. I also learned that I can inspire people to be amazing. And I also learned that I can help light workers achieve their dreams. That it is, I already knew this in a sense, but to actually, for this past year, have built a business that is multiple six figures is amazing. In it, 1 year, in 1 year. And we've helped countless of others step into their purpose in a real authentic way, and to begin to help empower and help heal humanity, and really then continue to fulfill our purpose, my purpose, which is to dramatically assist humanity in raising its frequency. And that's through, spiritual empowerment and transformation and healing. So I've learned that while there's this fabulous light that emanates from me, there's an equal and opposite darkness that can be there. And every once in a while, this shadow side pops out because this is the humanity, right? And it pops out. And so I've learned that I have to be very aware of that, and that I have to own it. And um, while, yes, controlling it is, of course, I mean, I'm not a raging bitch. So, but just sometimes, some things can happen. And I, we all have our sides, right? So I learned that as well. What else did I learn this year? Oh my gosh, I learned how much amazing energy is out here. I learned that there's so much beauty in so many different spiritual practices, and that the heartbeat of humanity really still is good. And that spirituality is that heartbeat, right? It says it's our lifeblood. So I learned that in a real deep way, that there's so many things that are just like, honest to God, they're so intertwined, and we're so much more alike than we think that we're not, that we've allowed some people to tell us that we are. You know what I'm saying? I've learned that. Um, I've learned that I have no patience for stupidity. I've learned I have no patience for no patience. I've learned that I have no patience for judgment. I've learned that I mean, like, none, zero, nada, zip, zilch. No patience for baseless accusations just to harm someone else. No patience for people who want to control other people. No patience for people that want to um, continue to enslave humanity in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I also have no patience for people that have no patience. We're all on this walk, right? And I get it. Um, I'm not going to agree with everything, the pace that some people go and they do things, or how much they divulge of their true thought processes or feelings, um, or what they know or whatever. Like, everybody has our own gig, man. We got to do our own thing. I just, no patience for judgment. Like, if it's, you know, your method of spirituality and expression, and that's it, it's your way or the highway, I got no time for that. I got no time for judging people based on anything, right? And that means I don't judge white people because they're white. I might joke, and we joke a lot. We joke a lot. I joke about different cultural differences, and we laugh about them. Never mean spirited. Um, but I refuse to make somebody feel like they are less than because of the color of their skin, because I know how that feels. So I learned that this year too. I mean, not that I learned it again, some of these things just became such deep rooted. Like I just recognized how much of an integral part of who I am they are. And I believe will help carry us through. What else did I learn this year? I learned that not everybody likes change as much as I do, that not everybody likes to just run full speed ahead like I do. Um, I've learned that dreams come true. And I think that's the biggest change for 2021 I can say is I've learned beyond a shadow of a doubt that dreams come true. My mind has changed on that. And I didn't even realize that in my subconscious deep mind, I didn't believe it until this year for myself. So many dreams have come true and in ways that I had no, that was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it happened this way. Completely unexpected and so cool. Um, and more of my dreams are coming true. And not just dreams, but well, to me, dreams and visions, I'm now understanding are all the same thing. Dreams and visions and prophecies, they're all coming true. And it's like nuts, but it's the best nuts I felt in so many years. And I never thought I could honestly say that I did not think that I would be where I am right now in business a year ago, or in my personal life, or in my family life, or just life in general. Did not think I was going to get here. And I'm so excited for next year. But I can tell you so many of my dreams have already come true. I learned that, yeah, they do. Yeah, when you wish upon a star, yep, it actually works. So I want you to reflect on some of these types of things for 2021 and, reach out, leave me a comment or shoot me an email, and you could do that on my website, heartofinspiration.net, or yeah, go there, contact me. Um, Stop by the YouTube channel if you're not listening or watching this on YouTube or Instagram or what have you. Um, Let me know. Leave me some comments. What did you learn this year? Let's see, 5 year. What changes did you make? What did you learn about you? What did you learn this year in 2021? I really want to know. And we're going to start bright and early, first thing in 2022, setting ourselves up to have a fabulous one, okay? I want more and more light workers to come to the forefront. I want more and more people living in their soul. I want more and more people living spirit led, higher dimensional lives. And I want to help heal humanity, and I know you do too. Thank you, 2021. Thank you to all of you. I so appreciate you. Thank you very much for your support, your love, and your continued listening and learning with me. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you so much. Namaste.